check, 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need, get over the fear, and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show, and welcome to podcast episode 310. Today we have 5 questions sent in, and remember, if you have a question, send it to support@michaelquarles.com. One more time, support@michaelquarles.com. Here we go. First question. When we list a property on the MLS, should the description read LLC or investment property? How do we get the buyer's attention on the property? So we're listing it on the MLS. We already own it. We're doing the wholesale method, which is wholesale is not like wholesale. So wholesale is we're getting a house under contract. We're explaining to the seller that we're going to immediately start marketing the property. We're going to take that property and put it on the MLS, even though we do not own it. However, we are going to buy it before we sell it. So we're not selling the agreement, which is what a signing is. And we're not going to sell it at a reduced value. We're going to sell it at 100% of as-is value. So what entices folks on the MLS to look at your property? Well, the reality is in the description, your agent is going to put all the little stuff about the house, what the house includes, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, whatever it is that they can explain. They're going to put subject to seller obtaining title in the agent comment area of the MLS. That's going to let the other agents that are bringing you offers know that there's a contingency on the property and that it's subject to you obtaining title in order to sell it. You want that. That's important so you don't put yourself on the hook if you, in fact, cannot buy it for some reason from your seller. If you don't have that clause in, you'll be obligated and you'll want to put that in the contract as well. But we'll go over all that in the coaching program. If you want to learn how to do all this stuff, maximize your returns, take a look at the coaching program. But the reality is what grabs the attention of the buyer? The price. We're selling it in the as-is condition at the as-is price, which is always going to be lower than the ARV price, all the other fixed up houses. So we're buying the junky house, the trashy house, the house that needs a lot of love, and we're going to place it on the market at what it's worth today. We're going to sell it to a real estate investor, typically for cash, who's going to go out there and either do some sweat equity construction. So they're going to paint the walls, do all that kind of stuff, or they're going to hire it done. They're going to either sell it to somebody else eventually after the ARV, or they're going to keep it as a rental. But we're going to buy it at 50 cents or a little bit more of the as-is value and then sell it at 100%. So we're making a pretty good spread too, so we don't care what someone else makes. Now we're making a lot more money than had we wholesaled the property or assigned the contract. What do we tell the buyer? We tell them the price. The price is going to cause it to sell. It's all about price, folks. Of course, it's price and location, but it's all about price. Our properties are going to sit in the MLS at a lower reduced value. It'll appear that way anyway. It's going to be 100% of value, but it's going to be lower than the ARVs. So wrap your brain around that. Buy houses and sell them for the full value. Do not give your houses away. Question number 2. I'm having a bit of a challenge with cold calling. It is challenging, absolutely. Do you have a website or other resource for finding a list of phone numbers within a zip code? I've tried several pages, including white pages, which don't let me filter by zip code and forces me to check out every single prefix for the zip code in the area. There are thousands of them. Well, let's go back to the first statement. I'm having a bit of challenge with cold calling. Yes, cold calling is challenging. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. There are 2 types of cold calling. One type is actually cold. So you don't know anything about the person on the other side of the phone. You're just dialing. I'll give you a little secret on that one in a minute. The other type of cold calling is you know something about the person on the other side of the phone. You know that they have a house for rent. They have a house for sale as a FSBO. They have an unlawfully tainted hearing. You know something about them. So they're a FSBO, they're expired listing. An expired listing is a house that was on the MLS through a real estate professional. It didn't sell during the contracted period. It fell out of the MLS, so that's an expired. So you have a FSBO for sale by owner. You have an expired listing. You have a for rent. You may have some foreclosure properties in there as well. Those folks, when you call them, Now, 2 of them are easy to find because they're listing their phone number for us. Look on Craigslist, look on Zillow, look on Trulia kind of thing. And the FSBO's on the active for rent. So those are easy to find because, hey, my house is for rent, my house is for sale, call me. The expireds and the foreclosures and some of the unlawful detainers, those are a little harder. You're going to find the address. You're going to go to a database. I used a service called FastWeb. It's by First American Title, where I can put the address in and it's going to give me back who the owner is. I then can go to Google and some other sources and find that owner's phone number and call that owner. So I'm going to call them, and I know that I'm going to say, hi, my name is Michael Quarles with I Buy Houses. And if I know that they're a FSBO, then I'm going to say, I want to make an appointment to come out and buy your house. Would today at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock be better? And I'm going to go through my script. I already know that they want to sell a house, so I don't have to qualify them as a seller. I just need to qualify them as a potential prospect and make an appointment. Now, if I don't know that they have a house for sale, say they have a house for rent or something else, I'm going to say, hi, this is Michael with I Buy Houses, and we're looking for 3 and 4 bedroom homes in your neighborhood. Just wondering, who do you know that's planning on selling? Naturally, if they had a house for sale, they would say, well, I have a house for sale because they want to sell their house. If they have a house for rent, they may say, well, I have one for rent. Oh, you have one for rent? Terrific. Have you ever thought about adding to your portfolio of rentals or selling any of the rentals you currently have? Give them an option. Give them an option of either buying your properties that you're going to have now or in the future, or selling to you their properties they have now or in the future. So give them an option. Some of those folks are actually good for money too, but we can't have that discussion with them until we become really close friends with them, so we don't violate any rules. So that's pretty simple. You're going to make one in about 20, 25 phone calls before you get an appointment on those folks. And I know you can call about 16 people an hour and go through that spiel. You're in the coaching program. We teach you how to do all this stuff. So I know that works. Now, I also know that the cold prospect, the one I talked about earlier, you don't know anything about them on the other end of the phone. And you're just going to say the same thing. Hello, Michael. This is Michael with I Buy Houses, and we're looking for 3 and 4 bedroom homes in your neighborhood. Who do you know that's planning on selling? And you're going to hear a lot of, you're an idiot. You need to get a better job. You're disgusting. You're, slime of the earth, that kind of stuff. Going to hear a lot of clicks. And 1 in 100, you're going to hear, I am. My neighbor is, my friend is, someone around them that they can put you in contact with, and you're going to make an appointment. So you need 95 people hollering at you and 1 person to say yes. And I know, again, going back to at 16 an hour, divide 16 into 100. That's how long it's going to take you to get an appointment if you're calling cold. So where do you find the phone number? Well, I know that if you, in my area in Bakersfield, California, I can kind of divide it up and I know where prefixes are and all that kind of stuff. But those are landlines. In today's marketplace, we have a lot of cell phones. Everybody has a cell phone. Go around to a restaurant, sit at a restaurant and look at everybody looking at their phone screen. So we can kind of tell, if your phone number prefix is 619, well, there's 10,000 people with that prefix. Start calling. 619-0000, 619-0001, 0002, 0003. And they're going to answer. They're going to be kids. They're going to be grown-ups. They're going to be unemployed people. They're going to be renters. They're going to be landlords. They're going to be all kinds of people, but who cares? We're looking for that 1 in 100 anyway. Now, there's a trick to speed that up if you'd like. Go and get those car magazines that people are advertising a car for sale, or one of those junk magazines. They're advertising junk for sale. And call those folks. Don't tell them they're trying to sell a mattress. Just say, hey, this is Michael with I Buy Houses. We're looking for 3 and 4 bedroom homes. Now, there's a correlation between people that are de-junking a piece of property and people that actually need to sell that property eventually. Besides that, they want to answer their phone. They want you to call them. So it's pretty cool. So they will answer the phone, where a lot of people on a cold call, because if they don't recognize your phone number, they may not answer your phone. But that's okay. Don't leave. So when you call people, don't leave a voicemail, because it's a waste of your time. All right? It's a waste. You don't have any there's 0 opportunity there. Don't leave a voicemail. Let the phone ring 3 times, hang up, go to the next phone number. Stand up, have energy, make it fun for yourself. Dedicate hours to doing it. And I liked 9 to 11 and 3 to 5. I like those hours. I like getting rid of it and making sure I get it done before I go home. Pretty simple. It's okay. It's going to be tough on you in the beginning, but it's going to be fun by the time it's done. So I know it'll work. But if you're in the coaching program, again, we'll teach you how to do this. I took 119 contracts the first year I cold called. I absolutely know it works.
Thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through Yellow Letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 3. A cash buyer is best, but do you avoid selling wholesale flips to buyers using F.H.A? Yeah, F.H.A doesn't work for a wholesale flip. You're going to have to buy and hold it for 90 days, get rid of the seasoning. But let's face it, if you have a house that doesn't need a lot of work, so to qualify for an F.H.A loan, you're going to make top dollar on it, and you can mitigate the cost of holding it for 90 days, hold it for 90 days. But if you got a cash buyer willing to give you the cash, do it that way too. So F.H.A hotel flips doesn't work, and that's okay. But most of our buyers aren't financing. See, the beauty of what we do in the wholesale business is we're buying them again at a percentage of as is, and we're selling them at as is. Our buyer is an investor. It's typically not the home user. It's not the occupant of the property. Those folks that do that have cash. We're just getting 100 cents on the dollar. You know, if you really think about it, and some people say, Mike, why would an investor ever give you 100 cents on the dollar? Well, majority of them do all day long. A majority of them, they're out of town. They have money they need to invest on a 1031 exchange or something like that, or their retirement fund isn't working well enough for them. And so they want to get it into property, and they like this area because they can buy more property there. The rate of return's better. So they call a real estate professional up in that city and they say, hey, I'm only looking for single family homes to buy on my portfolio. And, the agent's going to say, hey, do you want ones that are already fixed up? Do you want turnkey properties? Can you put some sweat equity in it? And, all those little things. And they're going to say, no, I love REO types of properties. I love properties that are falling down. I can fix them up, make some money on the fix up, put a tenant in there. That's my property. Well, that's our properties. That's what we sell. And so they use a real estate professional who tells them that they have to write an offer at 100% of value, because that's what they do. Very few people are like you and me who buy directly and have learned how to buy directly from the seller, and the scripts to use and the dialogues to use and have the communication style and the negotiation style to have with the seller directly. Most of us, we don't know how to do that, so we go through this third person to do the negotiation on our behalf. And we spend a lot of money to do that. I'd rather people learn how to do it themselves, buy properties at 50 cents on the dollar or a little bit above, save a bucket load of money. But, who am I to say? Yeah, no, F.H.A doesn't go with hotel. Question number 4. What do you think about purchasing short sale properties in today's market? I wouldn't. I've done a lot of short sales, but not in today's market. Today's market, there's enough people that have an equity position. In fact, if you run the numbers on your city, you're probably going to find out it's above 40% right now. So 40% of the properties in your city have an equity base that causes you to make profit if you buy and flip it or buy and wholesale that property. So if there's abundance of sellers that would sell to you normally, you don't have to do short sales today. Save short sale for when banks have an abundance of inventory, and that's all there is to buy anyway, but not today. Question number 5. I have a family friend who unofficially inherited a house after his brother died. They are told it needs to go through probate to get the deed transferred to his name with all the other siblings signing approval. He has already gotten verbal commitments from them to get the house. Unfortunately, does not have the money to complete the probate process. Would you pay the $700 to complete the process through their attorney if he has given you a verbal agreement to sell you the house once the deed in his name and you trust him? Well, all of my friends I trust. So I have a family friend. Well, if it's not my direct friend, I'd ask my family member, do you trust them? And if the family member said, yes, what's $700? Help the person out. Even if it doesn't create anything for you, help the person out. It's just what we do as people. We get out of bed every day and we go, okay, we love God, we love our family, we love our businesses, and we try to help someone who can't help themselves. When you start realizing that if you help someone, the return coming back at you is tenfold. Now, I'm not saying waste your money, going out there, throw it out there, and like you're driving down the street with $100 bills and you're just letting it go. No, don't do that. But if you make an effort to help people, you'll be real surprised. Be real surprised how much help you will get back, how much growth you'll get back, how good that feels, and what that will help you achieve in life. But as far as the $700, if your family member and yourself, if they're a friend, they're good for it. It's what we do. We take gambles. Real estate is not a sure thing. Called real estate investing. It's not a sure thing. We're hoping there's an upside. In this example, the upside doesn't matter because I'm doing something I should be doing anyway. But do it because you should. $700, no big deal. Help the person through the situation and go buy a house when he's done. Don't make it tough on anybody. It's the right thing to do. We do things in life because they're ethically right, they're morally right, and they're legally right in that order. So you'll feel good about yourself. You can just go ahead and do this one. I appreciate you guys being here. Remember, if you're thinking about learning how to do real estate investing the way I do, get on board in the coaching program. We meet a lot. Yeah, I think we have like 60 classes a month now. Everything's recorded. So if you can't make a class, you can listen to it. You can send in your questions. You get an accountability coach. You get a complete CRM system. All the tools and the tricks that we use, all the forms, contracts, everything you need to succeed. We're in the market. We're not someone, it's not like I used to do it. I'm still doing it. That's pretty good stuff. Until next time, talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.